That's right. I am married, and so is Brad.
Yes.
We are officially both married.
Yes, betrothed.
To separate women. And it was a perfect weekend. This whole episode, we're going to tell you all about it. I jotted down wedding highlights, things I wanted to remember from this weekend, not even from the podcast, but just for me to remember forever. And one of them that I looked down and see is, so we played golf the day of the wedding. We just played 9 holes really quickly.
Yeah. And
Brad, you were there. How did the conversation get started? You know where I'm going with this.
Yeah, let's first emphasize really quickly. We played 9 holes. So obviously we split up into 3 different groups. And I was not with Scott. But I was with Scott in Arizona when we played. And so I learned that Scott golfs incredibly slowly. And I just thought that was just how golfers that really, like, I've watched golf on TV and I'm like, that's how golfers golf. And so we played, I played in a different group and we got done so quickly with 9 holes. I was like, we could have played 18. I don't know. I mean, it was one of those things where it's like, I learned that it's not everyone that plays slowly and that's good at golf. It's just Scott. And so, yeah, I just went up, like afterwards we were going to lunch. I was driving with Scott and Luke and I go, Scott, I guess I just assumed, or everyone golfs slowly, but really it's just you. And Scott's like, what?
I'm not a slow golfer.
I don't golf slowly. What are you talking about? And he looks at Luke and he's like, Luke, do I golf slowly? And Luke, without hesitation, just goes, you're the slowest golfer I've ever played with in my entire life. Never had he ever told him, but it was like earth shattering to Scott. He couldn't believe it.
It wrecked Scott's world in a very innocent way.
Scott's like, what? Are you kidding?
Are you joking?
He's like, I take the same amount of practice swings as you do. And everyone's like, no, you don't. You line up the ball. You stay in front of the ball. You check all these different things. He's like, okay, maybe every once in a while. I'm like, no, every time.
It was so funny. I went to go do like a first look or something. I come back to the groomsman suite and everyone is talking about Scott golfing. So, this is like 6 hours later.
Yeah.
The next day we're over at the Coop's house having a little picnic, hangout time. I walk up into a group and Scott's talking to Rustin Dowd. He's like, yeah, apparently I'm a slow golfer. It just like, Rustin, I loved how much it dominated the weekend.
Rustin goes, yeah, I have to account for another hour and a half every single time we golf together. And he's like, your dad's a really fast golfer. That's probably why you think that. He's like, Scott, my dad's not that fast of a golfer, but guess what? Every time he plays with you, he feels like he has to go fast or else they're going to be playing way longer. And Scott's like, he couldn't believe it. The whole thing was amazing.
Yes. So. It was highlight of the weekend. Many more to come, but Scott, we love you.
So let's get into this episode fast.
Let's get into it fast.
I think this tight beat means that it's going down with some random thoughts and white meat too. Midwest best friends eating fast food on repeat. So come along, let's have some fun and go ahead, get on your feet, cause it's the Ghostrunners podcast. Every Monday morning we're taking back Ghostrunners podcast.
Ghostrunners podcast.
Episode 232. I've got a wedding ring. Brad is here, and Timon has been rehired.
Yes.
He's back.
I'm back.
We realized it was a lot harder without him, so we're like, bring him back on.
Let's bring him back for one episode. We might be doing some s'mores today, which will be a re-interview.
Timon, there's been a lot of monumental things happening in our lives this past week, but we want to hear from you first and foremost. How are you doing?
Yeah, what's new?
I'm doing well.
Great. Thanks, man.
Yeah. That's awesome. It was
just kidding.
Got laid off. That was rough.
That sucks.
When you listened to it, were you like, oh snap? Didn't know this was happening.
They did it without me.
Yeah.
Like,
was there any ounce of you that was like, maybe they're being serious?
No, not for a second.
Ever since the horses incident, you've been kind of, on the lam, incognito.
That's right.
Do you have anything that you want to say about the horses incident?
I stand by it.
Yes, good.
Oh,
Okay.
Good for you.
Good for you.
Not taking anything back.
No apologies. Yeah.
Nope. I need everyone listening. Just go smell a horse.
Yeah, we got a great sports segment coming up, and we'll talk about it when we get there. But I'm excited to hear Timon's answers.
Timon's already made us laugh quite a bit. We haven't even started it yet.
So,
we got married this past weekend, and it was perfect. It was just perfect.
It was perfect. It was awesome.
For the rest of our lives, Rachel and I will be able to say our wedding day was perfect. It was perfect weather. Everyone was able to make it. I don't know what else you can ask for. It all went great.
What else can you ask for? I was expecting fireworks at some point.
Yeah, I think we asked the venue. They said no fire of any kind.
Well, I was expecting you to take the fine. You just do it anyway.
Just
What
set
else
the
can I
cornfield
ask
on
for?
fire.
I'm trying to think of what else I can ask for. There were no burgers.
No, it
Figured
was
it
primarily
could be-
white meat.
Be a burger wedding, you know? What else could I ask for?
You could have asked for burgers. You're right.
They didn't hand out cash at the end of it like I thought.
There's no cash basket. No.
So what else can I ask for? Those 3 things.
Okay.
Fireworks, burgers, and cash.
Pretty good.
Well,
Anytime
besides
you
that,
leave
it was
anywhere,
perfect.
you
Yeah.
could ask for those 3 things.
Right.
Yeah, it was good. Should we just go through it
Yeah.
kind of from the beginning, I guess?
I'm going to let you drive and I'm going to be in the passenger seat just,
Okay.
changing music whenever I need to.
Help me remember stuff.
Yes.
So let's see. I went up there a couple days early. It was great. It was just like golf during the day, played Catan at night. What more could you ask for?
You're like, marriage is awesome.
Yeah, this is great. And Rachel and I have talked about that. I think we're going to bring Catan on our honeymoon next week.
Cool.
And just like, hey, maybe we'll meet another couple. Maybe
Fun.
they know Catan.
Frank and Beans.
Frank and Beans.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
That's fun.
But yeah, I was great. Friday was the day of the rehearsal dinner. And I'm trying to think anything that like happened leading into it. I mean, I don't know. Rehearsal dinner was great. We heard some good speeches from Rachel's maids of honor and whatnot. We heard some good speeches from Harrison Pollard. His was
Yeah.
awesome. He did a thing where he's like, all right, everyone, if you've ever lived with Jake, I want you to stand up. So, my old roommates and like my sister stood up. I was like,
Right.
oh yeah, that makes sense. But then was something that almost no one was probably expecting, but is accurate. The officiant of the wedding, Joel, Garrett Gibson's brother-in-law. Joel's the whole reason I ever connected with Jugglin' Josh in the first place. They were already friends in Dallas. Joel and his wife, Bailey, Garrett's sister. I know I'm throwing a lot out there, but whatever. He did move in with Jugglin' Josh and his wife and me for about 5 months in Dallas. So in the midst of all these guys standing up, Bailey Harney stands up and Harrison's like, whoa, what's going on?
Yeah.
And we never explained it. So
Joel like put up his wedding ring finger.
oh, did he? Okay.
But your dad was so worried. Like, did he tell you about that afterwards?
No, I didn't know about that.
He's like, I think people got the wrong idea about Bailey. And I was like, there's no way anybody here got the wrong idea about her. He's like, he put up the wedding ring, but I think that just means that he was just showing off like, hey, I got her, Jake didn't get her. And I was like, I don't think anybody said that.
I don't think so. That's funny.
But yeah, that was funny.
So that was the funny part. But then Harrison went through like, all right, stage by stage. All right, started with Caitlin. All right, I need to know what was Jake's bed like, what was his diet like, and what was his fashion like.
Yeah.
And we just went through all these stages, and it was funny. Like pizza rolls stayed the same throughout.
Yes.
But like the bed got nicer and the fashion got nicer.
Right.
And the whole speech was like, Rachel, you got him at a good time and all
Right.
that stuff. So
Yeah, it was very fun. Yeah, his speech was a speech kind of, but it was more like an interactive. Like
it was crowd work.
hey, let's talk. Like, oh, I'm gonna build off whatever you're saying and make jokes about that kind of thing.
It was really cool because I had told Brady, our videographer, we could talk about him more later, but I told him, I was like, I just want you to capture the essence of everything that's going on. I was like, my friends are hilarious. Half of my, groomsmen could do the exact same job that I do right now. I fully believe it. And then after seeing like the speeches, I was like, see, like they're all
Yeah.
hilarious.
Yeah.
They're so great. So Harrison's speech was great. Your speech was especially touching when you started talking, but try not to get emotional now. When you start talking about Rachel being such a good mom,
Yeah.
I was like, dang, that is
Yeah.
so true. And anytime I like write Rachel something or tell Rachel something, that's always the most emotional part for me
Yeah.
too, is like thinking about Rachel as a mom.
Yeah.
And you've got to see that with your kids.
I didn't look at you, but because I started tearing up. I'm tearing up a little now, even thinking about it.
Yeah.
I started tearing up, and then I just like out of the corner of my eye, I saw you like wiping your face a little bit. I was like, oh, Jake, I got Jake a little bit on that one, I think.
That's a good one.
Because like it was so funny. I'll be honest, like I was planning on like planning my speech on the drive up there. Like it was just me, Catherine, and Hattie. We're gonna have all the time in the world. Catherine naps half the time when it's
Yeah,
just like
yeah.
not really Catherine, but you know what I'm saying. Like
Just
if she
kidding,
can, like if Hattie's chill. But then Peter ended up coming with us.
Oh, there goes your
and
speech
so
time.
yeah, Peter and I hung, which was great and so fun to hang out and talk and whatever, just talk about everything under the sun. But yeah, I didn't think about it nearly as much or prepare as much as I was expecting I was going to. So luckily I thought about it a little bit beforehand, but like, yeah. So I wasn't expecting to like tear up talking about Rachel being a mom.
Yeah, it was cool.
But it's just so, obviously it's so important to me. And I think obviously with you guys too. And I just know she's going to be the best at it. I've seen examples of how good of an aunt and honorary aunt
Yeah.
she is to, us. So anyway, yeah, it was fun.
That was cool.
Isaac's speech was
I was
so
gonna say
sweet.
Isaac had probably the speech of the day.
Yeah, and he started it.
He started off.
I think Rachel's maid of honor, or she was
matron of honor.
Matron of honor. Carrie started off the whole thing, but then Isaac was the first guy, and I was like, "Oh, great, thanks, Isaac."
Yeah, and he just
nailed it,
dominated it. It was so cool. It just kind of reminded me almost like, I did move in with Isaac when he was 19 years old,
right?
And
sounds crazy on paper.
Yeah, it does a little bit,
but it was so normal. It was like, yeah, of course,
Isaac, and he said a lot of really cool things to say, and about how I've just kind of been there for him, and helped mold him in a tiny way. Yeah, it was just awesome. But rehearsal was fun.
Oh, Angie Coop spoke at the rehearsal.
Oh my gosh, maybe that was the speech of the day.
She did great, and she held it together great. So Rachel's mom, I mean,
emotionally stable,
just ES all over the board. It was amazing. Like, because your dad was talking about like, I'm going to cry like a baby. Steve Coop, I'm going to cry like a baby. Angie Coop, just right there, just
walked right up there, improvised, wasn't planning on even speaking, and she was just like, I don't know. She got up there and she was like doing a couple jokes, and like it was based off of what the last guy said. She's like, "Well, after what he said, I figured I'd come and do this."
Yeah. Like don't be fooled. I think Steve Coop's a little bit of the taller, family member. Maybe he's the reason Rachel's a D1 athlete physically, but the pressure, zoned in, being ready for the moment. Angie Coop is the reason she has those D1 genes in her.
I would even dare to say, sorry, Steve Coop, but Angie is also the reason physically.
She's athletic.
that Rachel's a D1 athlete.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, but Angie's speech was really cool too. It was just phenomenal. It's like, wow, this is so fun.
I'll say some things before we got to the rehearsal dinner. So, Catherine, it's just Catherine. Like Catherine being Catherine, on the way to Iowa, on the way to the wedding, she's like, I have some places I want to stop. I was like, of course you do. So there were 3 places. She wanted to stop at this famous covered bridge in Madison County.
Oh, that's right.
Bridges of Madison County, if you guys have heard of that.
Yeah.
And she wanted to stop at John Wayne's birthplace. She's like, it's his birthday. I mean, that's too perfect. We got to stop at John Wayne's birthplace. And then she wanted to stop at the Capitol building in Iowa, Des Moines. And so naturally,
we got it. It's his birthday.
She was like, it's too perfect. I mean, it'd be so fun. I'm like, Hattie's never seen a John Wayne movie in her life.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Where was he born?
Iowa.
Okay.
Wait.
Somewhere.
I don't know. If you gave me a multiple choice, I would know it. It's about 15 miles north of St. Charles. I'll tell you that right now.
Okay, great.
Anyway, but we did end up stopping at the covered bridge. I'm going to be honest, the most underwhelming bridge I've ever seen in my life. Have you seen it?
I saw pictures of them. And when Trey and I went to Vermont for a Girls in the Fall video, they have bridges like that too.
I was just like, This is it? Like, surely this isn't the thing that we're going to. Luckily, it was right off the highway. And whatever. I'm sure it's like an icon. I haven't seen the movie, so I don't know what the connection is. I'm sure it'd be pretty cool if it's like, that's in the movie. But literally 30 seconds down the road is St. Charles, Iowa, where 2 of our favorite ghosties, 2 of our Florida ghosties that came on the trip with us, Michaela Helton, Rachel Flickinger, are from. Michaela Helton still works at the pharmacy there in St. Charles.
Fun.
And it's just a classic small town pharmacy. So it has a ice cream, like, parlor in it, basically.
Oh, fun.
And so, there's the pharmacy, there's all, little convenience store, little things. And then there's an ice cream place. And so she's like, if you want to come visit, I'll give you free ice cream. And we're like, yeah. She made it sound like it was like a mile down the road. I'm serious. It was, I could probably see it from the bridge. And so I would have felt terrible in hindsight if we didn't go see
there.
It. Yeah.
Yeah. Geez.
That's
so fun. A pharmacy ice cream combo.
Yeah.
Like,
and Catherine made it sound like it was like, well, yeah, that's how they do it in small towns. I was like, no,
I've never heard of that.
I don't think that's like a given by any means. She's like, that's just like an old school thing in small towns. I was like, I still don't think it's like, it's not common knowledge to people.
Yeah, she's like, you've never
Brad.
You've never gotten Claritin and vanilla
Yeah.
at the same time.
She's like, because her grandparents used to live in Stanton, Texas. She's like, Stanton Drug. They had Stanton Drug. They had burgers and milkshakes
Stanton
there.
Drug cream. Nothing.
I was like, oh, 2 small towns have it. The 2, whatever. Anyway, it was so fun seeing Michaela. All that to say, we were already running late because we had to pick up Peter, his wife and kid. His kid was sick, so we were late. So we did not go to either of the other places.
Oh, okay.
And
Sorry,
go
just
ahead.
real quick. I will say I heard it from Peter first. I was like, how was the drive up here? He goes, good. Brad stopped and saw a ghosty. And I just thought like in the middle of it, you just like stopped to like, I don't know, like there was no reason. Just like, I heard there was a ghosty on the way.
I don't know. Just figured out like put it on my Instagram story and see what happens. No, she like it was kind of crazy. She had texted and like have fun in Iowa. Wave to us as you're going past our exit. And we're like, actually, I think we're going to this bridge really close to you. Have you heard of it? It's like, yeah, of course she's heard of it. It's like
The only thing
yeah. And she's like, yeah, I'm really close. So yeah, we're like, we gotta go.
Fun.
And it's so fun because we've already like hung out and met her
Yeah.
like 4 times. So anyway, that was fun. But because of that, yeah, we run a little bit later, didn't go to John Wayne, didn't go to Des Moines, just went straight through and still were like 8 minutes late to the rehearsal. But I was flying to get there. I was going so fast. Literally, I was going 95 miles an hour down the highway.
Wow.
So I was like, I can't believe I'm so late to this thing. I hate being late to things. And naturally, Jake and Rachel's wedding rehearsal, we didn't start like the actual like rehearsal event till 5:40 probably.
Maybe.
Yeah. And I was like,
chill.
why did I stress about this? But on the off chance, like what if everyone's trying to get there on time, trying to start, and I'm the one guy they're waiting for. So but anyway, it was really fun hanging out with Michaela. And yeah. Iowa is beautiful, by the way.
Iowa's cool. You see why I
Iowa
like
is
it?
so pretty. I mean,
Yeah.
Kansas has its own beauty and like the golden wheat and everything, but
Yeah.
Iowa is lusciously green.
It's nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of green.
Really enjoyed it.
Corn's just a few inches tall right now, but it's nice.
Beautiful hills.
More hills than you'd think.
Harrison, I think on the very first night as we were driving home, he's like, I meant to like say like, is this heaven? No, it's Iowa. But now I feel like it's too late. And so throughout the weekend, like so many times, like when there'd be an opportune time to do it, I would just be like, guys, is this heaven? No, it's Iowa. And everyone loved it. And Harrison and I would just lock eyes and just be like, you stinker.
Stole your thunder.
Yeah. Anyway. So yeah, rehearsal was awesome.
Rehearsal was great. Rehearsal dinner was great. Had a bunch of Chick-fil-A. And I'm trying to think. From there, we went back to the girls went to downtown Cedar Falls. The guys went to an Airbnb, just hung out, played some old video games.
Yeah.
Brad and I played SSX Tricky against each other.
Yeah.
It was pretty fun.
I could not believe how bad I was at all the video games.
It took a while to get it back.
I just thought it would be like, yeah, riding a bike. And it was like riding a bike.
Riding a snowboard.
That you've never done before. Yeah.
I will say I forgot all that stuff in the groomsmen's suite the day of the wedding. I hope someone picked it up, but maybe not.
Oh, the video games?
Oh, the PS2 and all the video games.
I did not know it was in the groomsmen suite. I would have been playing.
I know. I brought it. The whole reason I bought those in the first place was so that we wouldn't be bored the day of the wedding.
Oh, yeah.
But then I kind of got there late and I had stuff to do.
Right.
But yeah, I should have still set it up for you. So the fact that we played it the night before was like, well,
That was clutch.
that's fun too.
Yeah. Yeah, it was fun. There was like this pretty tiny, not tiny, but like not a huge Airbnb living room. So it was kind of fun because we were all like huddled around, just like joking and laughing. And just as classic guys do, we kind of just got into like sports trivia mode for like an hour. And so we went to like 2003 NFL rosters and just tried to like either guess like the last names of the players
or the number.
or where'd they go to college, all these different things.
Like everyone really that's where Braden came alive. Braden is like a wizard at this stuff.
Yeah, what did he say? He was like, I was on the Scholastic team at school, and it was only because of my sports knowledge.
I was only there to answer sports questions. Yeah, Braden was great. There was a certain quote from that night. I don't know if we should bring it up or not.
I wasn't going to. That's up to you, brother.
I think it'll be fun. Why not? So I will say if you guys remember the Bachelor party, all of my best friends, but also Rachel's brother Tim, Rachel's brother Tommy, Rachel's dad Steve,
Your dad.
and my dad.
Your uncle. Yeah.
With a wedding approaching, certain activities approaching, it would be very easy for certain jokes to be made.
Sure.
I'm so proud of all the groomsmen, all the guys at the
Sure.
wedding because they didn't make like a single inappropriate joke, around Tim, around Tommy.
At the bachelor party.
At the bachelor party,
Yeah,
yeah. Everyone did such a good job because I think it would have made all of us uncomfortable. And we made it all the way up until the night before the wedding. And Isaac goes, I don't know how funny this is going to be to you guys, but Isaac is trying to be.
Well, just know Isaac is so pure in this question.
Yeah, Isaac is trying to be so genuine. It's probably 11 p.m. We're kind of winding down, and he's just like, he's thinking about the next day of like breakfast potentially. We don't know that's what he has in mind.
Right.
Isaac just goes, Jake, question for you. If you could wake up to anything in the world, what would it be? And Brad goes, Tim, close your ears. And we all just start dying laughing. And Tim just starts shaking his head.
Oh, Tim played the role so well, dude.
He really did.
He was just like, oh yeah, he was so funny, man. Like, he got bothered every time. Like,
And then Isaac's like, I meant like donuts.
Yeah.
That's what I meant.
Oh, Tim, close your ears, buddy.
And unfortunately, it kind of broke the seal a little bit.
The dam was open. The floodgates came.
Because I was probably around for about 3 or 4 more jokes over the next 24 hours. And every time Harrison would say something, kind of forget who he's around. Like, sorry, Tim. And Tim's over there shaking his head. He's like, you don't have to say sorry every time.
Yeah, because Tim's the little brother. It's different when you're the little brother, I think.
And the unmarried brother.
Tommy's married, yeah.
Yeah.
And so, oh, man.
Yeah, Tim really did play the role perfectly. He's just like, just get it over with. Just whatever.
Yeah, we talked about it and we're like, yeah, we did so well. But it was like one of those, like, I think Peter compared it to that commercial, like you're turning into your parents, like, and the guy has blue hair. He's like, we all see it. We all see it. Don't say anything.
Don't say
And then finally the guy just blurts out, his hair is blue. It's like that. Like, it's the same thing where we're like, we all see the joke. Everyone just be cool. I think that the bachelor party helped make the jokes more available at the wedding, because it was like, okay, now Tim and Tom know who we are, and like we got some equity under our belt, relational equity. Yeah. So yeah, anyway.
That was a really funny part of the night. I wrote that down in my wedding highlights.
Close your ears, Tim.
Tim, close your ears.
So funny.
Oh, one other thing I was going to mention is, yeah! I wanted to mention that just really quickly because we are once again sponsored by Good Ranchers, American meat delivered.
Good Ranchers. We are once again sponsored by the Good Ranchers. Good Ranchers. We are once again sponsored by the Good Ranchers. So when you want meat to your door, just go and order from goodranchers.com. Hey!
GRKC.
Yeah, that's yeah.
Every time any kind of musical thing breaks out, I just have like the simplest, like little, like a part you would give a 6-year-old. Why don't you like just clap?
Yeah. It's like you're trying to do this like round in a room. Like, okay, you guys are my bass line. Boom, 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 boom. And it's like, you guys just clap along. Okay, Jake? Like, you kids over here, just hit the desk, okay?
What if you guys dance? We need some dancers.
All right, now you play the tree in the back.
Yes.
And if that gets too hard, you don't even have to do that. It's okay.
Yes.
Anyway, that was fun.
Jake, did you know that Father's Day is coming up?
It is.
And did you know that Good Ranchers is the perfect Father's Day gift?
It is.
It is.
That's right.
I think that if you think about Father's Day, you think of grilling meat. You think of high-end steak. And you think, hey, what if I could bring the beauty and the taste and the luxury, said that weird, of a steakhouse to the comfort of your own home?
You can have a steakhouse on your back patio.
I'm just telling you right now, dads love 2 things. They love steak and they love being comfortable. If you can do both those things at once, you are hitting a home run as far as a Father's Day gift goes. Do it with Good Ranchers.
Yeah, I think there's your Father's Day.
There's your Father's
Get him a
Day.
nice chair from the garage. Mm-hmm. Don't spend money on that. And then just spend just a little bit of money on some quality American meat.
Yes.
He's going to be comfy. He's going to be full.
A fraction of the money that you'd spend at a steakhouse and higher quality.
Yeah.
Not even similar.
Equal.
Higher. Seriously.
Rachel made some Good Ranchers chicken last night.
Dude.
And it's so good.
It's
I
different.
know we say it every time. It really
dude.
is just so good
We
on
had
top.
their shrimp 2 nights ago and it was different. It's like, this is something about this is just different.
It was good. Rachel made this like, I don't even know what to call it. I'm still learning the names of healthy foods, but some type of Greek meal.
Okay.
Pita bread, chicken, tzatziki sauce.
Yeah.
Some green
Maybe
liquid.
a gyro.
Is that what that is?
Yeah. Or I don't know if you say hero or gyro, but yeah, Gyro.
I thought it was Euro.
Maybe.
It's not gyro.
It's maybe a gyro. Tim, close your ears.
Either way. I know before I even made my big concoction, I was just picking chicken and it tasted so good on its own.
You were picking chicken?
Yeah, just picking it off the plate before I made my sandwich.
Let me look in my notes. Picking chicken is okay with Good Ranchers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really, really tasty. You really don't need to do anything to it. Obviously you can, but it's
Yeah.
just so good on its own.
Yeah.
Check it out. Goodrangers.com.
Goodrangers.com. You can subscribe to them. You can save money that way. They can send meat straight to your door. It's freezer, packaged up, and when you're ready for it, you just eat it. You cook it.
Just do it.
Eat it. It's so good, guys. Get 20% off.
$30
I'm sorry,
off.
$30 off your code. Go ahead.
$30 off America's best meat with code GRKC.
Yes. Please support them. They're awesome.
Yeah, you will not regret that.
Hoo-wee. Hoo-wee. Okay,
Anyway.
so fun night before.
So that was Friday.
Stayed up late.
Yes, we did. Yeah, we did, but it was nice.
Oh, yeah.
It was fun. Let's see. From there,
How did you sleep that night?
oh, good.
Were you nervous?
No.
We talked about that last week.
Yeah, wait, who did I can't remember what we talked about on the podcast, but I know everyone loves asking me, just like, how you feeling? Nervous?
Yeah.
Like, to marry the love of my life? No.
I saw Grant Huberberg. First thing he said, how's old Jake doing? Is he freaking out?
Oh, that's probably because I told him beforehand, maybe.
Oh, maybe so.
Yeah. But yeah, I feel like people just love asking if you're nervous for your wedding, which is fine. They're being polite. They're checking in. But at no point was I nervous to marry Rachel Coop. I was so excited. And I hope most people
Did
feel
you
that
sleep?
way.
Did you sleep well?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. it was
Did
fun.
you have a thought? Did you consciously think this is my last night sleeping as a single man?
Yeah. Well, I kind of had an incorrect thought. I was like, when I wake up, I'll be married. I was like, wait, no, that's not right.
Kind of. Next time you wake up, you'll be married.
Then I will be married.
Yeah.
But no, slept great. I think I was just exhausted and I had a big day. So I was like, let's get to bed. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Next day was great. Yeah, I went to the golf course and had a really good time. Josh Mayer Golf.
Yes.
Him and his wife drove all the way up from Dallas to the wedding. Learned that they're going to Pennsylvania after that. I was like, oh, you're road tripping. So you got your clubs with you. He's like, yeah. I was like, well, come golfing with us. So
Yeah.
I rode around in a car with Josh all day. That was fun.
He's awesome.
Yeah, he's the man.
Yeah. I really like him.
We got to get him to Kansas City.
And Maggie. Yeah. Come on up. Just come on up.
It's like Peter told me individually, he's like, I love talking to Josh
Yes.
and Maggie. And then like Harrison and Abby were like, oh, we love talking to Josh and Maggie. You were like, oh, I love talking to Josh.
Yeah.
Everyone talked to him and everyone loved him.
Yeah.
They got to get up
They're
here.
sweet. Yeah.
Josh, Maggie, I know you're listening. Instant friends. Instant
Come
friend
on,
group.
baby. Yeah.
You got best friends waiting on you.
Come on.
What are you doing?
Somebody said there's a house for sale right down the street.
Yes, we learned that. House for sale in the neighborhood.
Yep.
Come
How
to Shawnee.
fun. Yep.
But yeah, golf was really fun. Brady, let's talk about Brady, videographer. Good friend of mine. Met him like 5 or 6 years ago in Dallas. We were both part of the same scam. Great way to meet someone. And
Do you want to explain that real quick?
yeah, I guess sure. We were both part of this thing. We heard about this competition, and it was put on by. They're still getting free publicity from this freaking thing. And
No. Hey, bleep it out. Put it on by.
put on by who knows who.
Yeah.
Some tourism place
Yep.
down south, and the competition was like, we're looking for a CEO. It was like Cancun entertainment officer or something like that. It was basically like the winner of this competition will get to live for a year at a resort in Cancun, and your job will be to make fun, exciting videos about the resort. It's like, that sounds so awesome. It's a year, you get to do that. And so I enter, make a little video. I think they got like 10,000 submissions. I make it to the top 50. Oh boy,
Oh, yeah.
that's pretty fun. At this
I was
point,
voting every day.
thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, and the whole time they're asking people to vote for you, post about it, post. We're looking at the votes, make it to the top 50. And now they're like, from here we're going to narrow it down to the top 10 or whatever. And I feel like right away you start to you look at like all the top 50. You look at like who's in this, like
Some
who
of
am I
them
up
were
against?
Amateurs in the top.
Some of them I was shocked. I was like,
Yeah.
who are the other 10,000?
Right.
There's got to be someone better than this in there. But there were a few people that stood out right away. And one was Brady Clayton. I was like, this guy's a stud. He also lives in Dallas. We ended up getting to know each other. It was like, turns out we've been going to the same church this whole time. We both go to Watermark. This is so fun. Another one was Indy Blue, an influencer, videographer, really cool. Ended up getting to meet her in person, stopped by her house in the limo trip. We've become friends since. But so Indy's a full-on influencer. She's dominating us in votes. But I'm doing all right. Brady's doing all right.
Yeah.
And when they narrow it down to the top 10, none of the three of us made it. And it was like, we thought one of the three of us was definitely going to win it. We were like,
the
by
top
far.
10? Is that really true?
None of us made it to the top 10.
Oh, okay.
And it was like, oh my gosh. Well, Brady's the most talented. Andy has the most influence. You know, I'm probably the only one who's like doing full-time YouTube right now. I feel like that's got to like count for something. Neither one of us made it. The guy who had the least amount of votes came in like second place or something. The guy who won like we found out that he was like, had worked with him previously before or something. Just the whole thing was like, oh, they just used us to talk about this, to put it on our Instagram stories, to put it on Facebook. And they were going to go with their guy the whole time.
A scheme.
So
they schemed it up.
That was a bummer. But
what website was that again?
It was
CaboSanLucas.com.
Yeah, go there.
Got it.
Puerto Vallarta.
Anyway, so yeah, you knew Brady. You connected through that.
He's the man. He's such a stud. Go follow him on Instagram. He is always posting the most fun stuff. He's working with huge brands, but I got him to do a wedding video. It was great. That was a fun part of the wedding too. It was like the one guy that I wanted to do the ceremony, we got him. The one guy I wanted to do video, we got him. The one DJ we wanted, got him. Even the bride.
Got him.
Top 3. Pretty good, you know.
Yeah. She was in my oh no list. Yeah.
But Brady was such a stud. He was like, you know, I was like, Brady, you can show up to the ceremony like noon if you want, or at their, venue. And he's like, dude, I'm gonna be there all day. What are you guys doing first thing? And I was like, I think we're like golfing at 9 a.m. But you know, he's like, I'm there. I will be there. And he was there the whole like 2 hours. We were golfing. Then he goes to the bridal suite. He was such a stud. And everyone loved telling me how much they love Brady.
Yeah. He's infectiously fun. Like, he's just got a lot of fun, positive vibes to him. And like, I met him for a minute and I was like, I like you a lot.
Oh, this guy's awesome.
Like he lives like 20 minutes from Catherine's parents. And I'm like, every time we visit, I'm going to hit you up and be like, you want to hang out?
You guys got to hang out.
Yeah. It's so fun.
I got to see my parents say hi to Brady in person because my dad came over and was like, this is my wife, Trish. And how did he say it? He's like, and Brady, you're her boyfriend or something like that. Because I guess my mom has been following Brady on Instagram and like loves his stuff.
Yeah.
And my dad always calls Brady her boyfriend, I guess, around the house. So,
nice.
But yeah, Brady was such a stud. He was like, everyone would come up to me and be like, I'm loving watching Brady film other people.
Yeah.
Because he's laughing so hard. He's making it so fun.
Yeah.
Brady, at least, he was very nice to me. He's like, I'm having so much fun. I'm like, I hope you're being honest. I hope you are having fun. I can't believe I asked you to film a wedding when you've so moved on from this. But he was like already throwing together highlight videos the next day. It's like, all right, clearly I think he had a good time. He's already editing it on Memorial Day, no less.
Right.
And I think it's gonna be a really, really good video. Because I told him, I was like, I want it to be as casual and as fun as possible.
Yeah, I'm very intrigued by how it turns out because it's it's gonna be so. What is it? I don't even know. I can't even have like a vision in my head. He had me do some pretty funny voiceover things at one point.
Oh, really?
Which was pretty fun.
Voiceovers for what?
Can't.
Okay. Don't tell me.
I don't think you want to know.
I can't wait.
You probably don't really want to know.
Yeah,
completely.
you're right.
I will say we were doing really well at golf and then he showed up and we had a lot more fun and we played a lot worse. Like I think we all lost concentration towards the golf and just worked on trying to be entertaining. But there was one point where he was like filming me hitting a chip shot or something.
Yeah.
And I hit it. And I mean, it was one of those classic, like it was just straight, like a ground ball. Like didn't get up in the air at all. But I noticed as I looked like in the distance at the ball, I noticed that he wasn't filming the ball at all. And so I just like pretended I was like, oh my, go. And Harrison picked up on it so quickly and he starts like jumping up behind me like, no way. And then I just go nuts. He goes nuts and we start running down the, golf course.
It's so funny. It's almost like hard to celebrate something when you could see the ball going 30 yards past the hole.
Totally. Yeah. We're just completely, completely, being silly about it. And then Harrison hadn't hit yet. So he's like, all right, surely there's not two of us that do it in the same hole. And then of course, Peter and Gunnar were also ready to do it. And so we go insane. We're running down, Gunnar doing like a backflip in the golf course. So I'm excited to watch some of that footage of us just running and freaking out. Like, oh my gosh, are you kidding me? So.
Yes, that is going to be so fun. Brady said he was like, your friends are so fun. I just laughed all day today.
Yeah.
Brady said one of the highlights of his day was filming. He pulled aside both of the guys that I did the limo trip with. Ty and Kyle both came, and he goes, dude, I pulled aside Kyle, and I was filming him. He was doing like a talking head with me. And he's like, I've never cried laughing while recording something before. He's like, my hands were like shaky. I was just like crying, dude. It was so funny. He's like, I'm not going to tell you what he said. But yeah, I'm just so excited. I'm excited my friends showed up and they were funny for the camera.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see what you guys all did.
Let's talk about Ty and Kyle real quick.
One of my wedding, actually,
You want to get back to it?
no, that's perfect. Because
Yeah.
the number one thing on my wedding highlights, the first thing I wrote down, it said Ty's outfit. Because it just, I don't know why that like meant so much to me. And it was so funny at the same time. But when it came time for the reception, Ty excused himself to the bathroom and came outside in a new outfit to dance in. And the outfit was something we bought. So we did this limo trip in the heat of the summer. It was July and August for the first 2 months. And,
Air conditioned limo though, right?
Yeah, and the limo had no air conditioning. So we are, barely wearing any clothing for the first 2 months of this. It's hot. We've all lost so much weight for being sweaty. Well, we get out to the west and we get out to Yellowstone National Park, and now it's kind of September, but still we've been warm the whole time. And I remember overnight, we're sleeping in the limo and we've been cold for the first time in 2 months. It got down to 39 degrees.
Wow.
And we're like you're sleeping inside of your shirt.
Yeah,
just
like
to
you
try
don't even
and,
have clothes. Probably. You don't have sleeves on any of your clothes. Probably. Yeah,
You're trying to have your own breath just like heat you up, and we're using all like paper plates as blanket. It was freezing.
really.
We wake up at like 6 a.m. just as early as possible, and we go to a thrift store in Jackson Hole, Wyoming, right outside of Yellowstone. And we buy the most ridiculous outfit. I bought a pinstripe suit, kind of to be silly, but also like, I think that'll keep me warm. Just anything to warm me up. Like I needed something. And Kyle bought Ed Hardy jeans with like gold all over them.
I kind of remember those. Like in the front, they had gold.
Yeah. We got interviewed by the news a couple days later, and, and Kyle spent the whole time talking about his outfit. I was like, "This is real gold. This is Ed Hardy." But then Ty bought these like kind of lime green capris with flowers on them, and like a Civil War reenactment trench coat.
Yes.
And
like imagine George Washington crossing the Delaware, but his shirt's unbuttoned, like his coat's unbuttoned. Yes, that is great.
And that kind of ensemble is what Ty wore for the next like 3 to 4 weeks. I feel like he just wore that everywhere. He loved the trench coat.
It was in the music video, I think.
Yeah. He wore it all the time.
Yeah.
And anyway, I haven't thought about that outfit, and he came out to the wedding reception wearing it. He had kept it this whole time, and the shirt underneath was Maine's Big Z, which is the radio station we got on the very first day of the limo trip. We got on the radio. It was like, we haven't even done anything. Why are we on the radio?
Yeah.
And so he was wearing that T-shirt. It was just like, wow, this is so sentimental and so nostalgic. And you kept it all. You have it,
right?
And you brought it to the wedding. And of course, other people. Rachel said she had a bridesmaid be like, do you see what he's wearing?
Are you
do you want to talk?
this?
And Rachel's like, yes, it's awesome. It's hilarious. So that was a wedding highlight for me.
Even Kyle had his own flair. I don't think it was sentimental, but like he wore, I think maybe it was just purple sunglasses and purple Crocs, like matching Crocs and sunglasses.
I think he had a purple tie too.
Did he? Okay. Yeah. I was thinking maybe he had one more thing, but they were so funny, dude.
He texted me a couple days beforehand. He was like, just to make sure the wedding invite says wear something you feel comfortable in. I was like, yeah, whatever. And he showed up in Crocs. Yeah. But they matched. It looked kind of nice.
I'll say, I told you this yesterday, but after you had left the wedding, Kyle was coming saying goodbye to me. And he's like, Brad, and like goes and kind of reaches out to like give me a hug. But I was like literally just starting a conversation with Chris, another guy. Yeah. And so Chris and I talked for like 5 minutes, and literally the entire time we're talking. And I knew this, like I saw him here and I was like, I think he's just committed to this. He literally stood frozen like a mannequin, like waiting for me to be done. And then Chris finally leaves and he like unfreezes. He's like, give me a hug, brother. It was unbelievable how much he was like, I don't care. I'm doing this.
For 5 minutes, he committed to the statue bit.
Yes. So great.
Yeah. They were very special people to get to live with and travel with for
absolutely
80 days.
So wild.
Very unique.
Anyway, yeah, fun. So, okay, let's go back to what else do you want to go to?
I don't know.
So we golfed.
Yeah.
Everything was great at golf. And then we went to lunch.
Talked about Scott being a slow golfer.
Scott still couldn't get over it. He's talking to everybody about it.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
It was so funny. Also, it was my first time having, was it Poncheros?
Yeah.
Really good.
Just okay to me.
Oh, I thought it was fantastic.
Yeah, good. I think you were just at wedding glasses.
Yeah.
You're like, this is the best day.
Guys.
Look at this. Yeah, it was good. It was good.
Chicken burrito.
It was like Chipotle, but I felt like Chipotle was better.
Gotcha. Rachel thinks Chipotle's better too.
Yeah. But it's like an Iowa thing, Poncheros.
At least Waterloo. They ran all the Chipotles out of business.
That is crazy to me.
Yeah.
Like we looked up Chipotle.
And there was one, but it said permanently closed. And Brad was like, when have you ever heard of a Chipotle
Yeah.
closing?
How bad do you have to be at Chipotle to get it closed?
Compete with Poncheros. That's what happens, apparently.
Maybe so. No, it was good. It was good.
Yeah, it was fine. But yeah, and then, I don't know, gearing up for the wedding, it was really fun and did a first look, ended up going with that. Thank you for the ghosties who recommended it. Mm-hmm. And
How'd that go? Tell me more.
it's all it's cracked up to be.
Really?
I got to say, it's fun. Yeah,
Paint
Rachel,
the picture a little. I don't know where you guys were.
we did it kind of just outdoors by where the ceremony was, kind of on the sidewalk there. And
Did you stand somewhere?
I stood facing the windows, and Rachel walks up behind me and then like tap him on the shoulder. But I think to get like the cameras and stuff right, there was so much anticipation because I could hear her footsteps. She's like 2 feet behind me. You're like, wait, not yet. I was like, oh my gosh.
Wow. Yeah.
Can we do it? Okay, just figure it out. Get the shutter speed. Thank you. No, but it was really cool. It was a fun time. Just like getting to just take her all in. I was like, wow, this looks awesome. And this is, you look so pretty. And her dress was really cool. Had some like, I'm going to do such a bad job describing a wedding dress, but go look at the pictures.
I have in my notes ever since like that one day when you said Rachel has the most unique wedding dress ever.
Yeah.
I wrote down quiz Jake about Rachel's dress. So try to describe it real quick.
So
Just as a guy,
it was
white.
white. It was
Give
like,
you free space there.
it still had like a good amount of train on it, but it wasn't like ball gown style.
Still had a good amount of train on it. I love that.
It was, it had some pearls
Okay.
in linear spots.
Like vertically.
Like not just put randomly. Yeah, vertical lines.
Vertipearls.
With a little like curve at times, shaping the torso
Okay.
a bit. But the sleeves were the fun part.
Yes.
She kept calling them the tubes because there were like outer sleeves that were really loose, but there was an inner sleeve of tubing underneath.
really?
So she had two ply sleeves.
Oh, interesting. I didn't know that. That's fun.
Whole thing just looked awesome. It was a lot of it Rachel kind of constructed herself because it didn't come that way. Rachel kind of pieced this together herself.
cool.
And all of her bridesmaids knew about this. Obviously, I didn't know, but Rachel was going to try to prank me and mess with me. So she was like, oh, something kind of came undone. Can you like mess with it? And so I was like,
Oh, yeah.
I could try. And she didn't quite pull it off because I hadn't really quite touched her arm sleeves yet. And then she like kind of ripped it from below and made it fall off. She's like, what'd you do? And no, I'm trying to be like very like polite, but I'm like, I don't think I touched it. I'm like, this isn't really gonna like work because I know I didn't touch it. She's like, yeah, I'm just messing. They come off.
Was this your first look that she did that?
No, this is like after the ceremony, kind
Okay.
of like I want to dance for the reception.
Funny.
Trying to mess with me, and I was
That's
just like,
great.
I don't think I did anything.
I'll be honest, Rachel. Like, yeah, I think that was all you.
Yeah, but man, I'm sorry. That's too bad. But yeah, they were supposed to come off.
Yeah.
So yeah, modular wedding dress, kind of fun.
Yeah, that is cool. I didn't know that.
I don't know how else to describe a wedding dress, but super white, super good.
No veil. No veil.
Not a veil in front, but like a something.
Did she have something
that
on
went
her
behind?
head?
Yeah.
See, yeah. She cried walking down the aisle. That was sweet.
Oh my gosh, we were both bawling. I've never cried to where my face is like shifting its shape. You know,
Really?
like I couldn't smile. I was
Yeah.
like, what is my chin doing right now?
Really?
Oh my gosh.
See, I couldn't tell. I couldn't tell how much you were crying. Or
Oh,
not.
because you're a little behind me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I couldn't see you. But I didn't. For some reason, I didn't think Rachel was gonna cry.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
She was a wreck.
Yeah. It was so sweet.
Yeah, she's like walking down the aisle, just bawling. I'm bawling. She hits him with a big, like big snort halfway down. Yeah, but it was good. It was an emotional day. It was fun. It was. I feel like I was pretty good during the ceremony until the second song came out. The first song, I'm walking the grandmas and the bridal party are walking down to I Can't Help Falling in Love with You, Elvis version.
Catherine, huge fan of it.
Really?
She was like, I loved that. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
It was my idea. Also knew it would please my dad.
Yeah.
Second song, Steady Love, Ben Rector. For some
I was
reason.
trying to remember what song. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When that song just started, that was when the tears got there. I was like, why all of a sudden? I'm like watching you and Peter walk down the aisle together and that song comes on.
Explain that.
Oh yeah. Sorry. I just got to spoiled something. So probably, I don't know, a day or two before the wedding, I asked Rachel, I was like, hey, how do we want to do, I've got like 13 groomsmen. She's got like 6 or 7 bridesmaids. How do we want to walk people down? Rachel goes, I don't care. I was like, so you like 2 guys and 1 girl, and you just like don't care who's who. She's like, I truly do not care how it goes. I was like, fun. Well, let's do something cool with this. I don't know what to do. And so I'm kind of brainstorming, like, what can we do kind of fun? And so I make like a Google survey really quickly, Google form. And it's like, how would you describe your walking style? I throw in like 5 or 6 like automated, or not automated, it's just like multiple choice answers of like, I walk very fast. Everyone else in my life is slow and stupid. Or I've been known to throw that thing around from side to side. Whatever. Yeah. And so I sent it out to all the bridesmaids, all the groomsmen, and then I paired them up based on their walking style. And so, I think the first couple was like, all right, dim check. You have to be paired up with the other D1 athletes. That makes sense. You're all the fast walkers. Right. And so dim check's looking straight up like, hey, what's your name?
You played volleyball, really? Okay, very cool.
So he walks with them. I forget who the next person was. It was another guy, another girl. Oh, it might have been like Caitlin and Braden. Yeah, Tommy and Corey.
Yeah.
And anyway, and then next, it's, all right, Scott and Isaac, you guys are walking down together. And it was really funny because they went arm in arm, even at the ceremony. And I'm sure that raised some eyebrows from grandmas. But
especially on the very first one. Like, it's like, whoa.
Yeah, they broke the seal, like, whoa, 2 guys. But then it was kind of fun. And then like 2 girls would walk down together. And then I think, was it you and Peter? You and Peter, Harrison and Luke. So yeah, just kind of fun. And yeah, that was the theme of the whole day. Rachel going, I don't care, just have fun.
Yeah.
So we tried to just make it fun.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I personally really like the flower girl coming down the aisle. Flower girls.
Oh, talk about it.
Yeah. So I was the last one to walk down the aisle, Peter and I together. And then right behind us, these 2 beautiful little girls, Hattie and Lucy.
Yeah.
Lucy is Rachel's year-old niece. And she had just learned to walk maybe 2-3 months ago. I don't know how long, but she's relatively new to the thing. Weren't sure how she was going to do, but Hattie was like, I'm going to make sure I hold her hand. So Hattie was holding Lucy's hand with one hand, holding her flower girl basket with the other, with her pebbles, not petals.
I know, Catherine
she kept calling her pebbles. And Lucy, like pretty quickly, like at the very back row, I think kind of stopped and like didn't really move very much. But Hattie, like I was like, oh, Hattie's going to give up on this. Like Hattie did not let go of her hand the whole time.
It started holding in, and then she grabbed Lucy by the wrist.
Yes, she was like, you are not leaving me. Come on. And she basically dragged her for a few rows. And then you should hear, it would be fun to hear Hattie's recount of the story because she's like, but then those Easter eggs came out. Because Rachel's mom had these Easter eggs with like kind of like rattle, like something inside of them or something like coins or what, pebbles, maybe pebbles, but was rattling them. And then Lucy started walking. And then she's like, and then she walked so fast that I couldn't even throw out my pebbles. So she did a great job though. And
they were awesome. They both made it all the way.
Yeah, it was so fun. Hattie's whole experience was one of my highlights because I think she felt so honored. She felt so like so many people came up to her and said, you did such a great job. You look so pretty. Cool. And every time she just like kind of like, I don't know, just sunk a little bit and smiled and was just like so coy and like, so sweet about it. And yeah, during the ceremony, she's like Joel a few times like mentioned my name and she's like, I can't believe they're talking about my dad. And I think I had Catherine text me, or I texted her to see if she can send me it because she wrote down like a bunch of different funny things that she said.
Yes, Catherine shared a couple with me, but
something about you crying. I think maybe.
I think she said, "Why is Jake smiling so much?"
Oh, okay.
When I was like at the altar looking at Rachel. What was the other one? Oh, this another really cool quote was when we're shortly after the first look, we're knocking out a bunch of bridesmaids, groomsmen pictures or whatever. It's Rachel's wedding colors. We're kind of, a lot of pastels and all the bridesmaids are in yellow and light blue and light green. And so Catherine goes to Hattie, who's watching all this, and is like, which one of the dresses is your favorite? Like, which one's your favorite color? Mm-hmm. And Hattie goes, I like the white one. And it's just like, yeah, Miss Rachel.
Yeah.
And she's like, wow, really? And I guess Hattie was like, I didn't know a dress could be all white.
I think she said, I didn't know a dress could be so pretty. I think she said something like that.
Really? Yeah, something just awesome.
Just an amazing, that's exactly what you want to hear. Thank you for saying that, Hattie. Like,
yeah.
Oh, okay. Here, Catherine just sent me this. She said, I can't believe that's my dad every time you were mentioning the sermon. Oh, Mr. Jake has a lot of best friends.
Oh, that's awesome.
I don't know. Maybe Joel or somebody mentioned this and she said, I don't think Mr. Jake's voice was shaky.
Oh, I said my own voice was shaky when I give my expression. I was like, my voice is getting shaky, so I'm going to stop.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. And then it says, during picture taking time, Hattie, which of the girls' dresses do you think is the prettiest color? Referring to the bridesmaid dresses. Miss Rachel's dress. I didn't know an only white dress could be so pretty.
There it is.
Yeah. So fun. So
Hattie was awesome.
Anyway, you're walking down the aisle. Steady Love got you going.
Right when Steady Love came on, it was like, emotional. And then, shortly after, then Rachel and her dad come out to like kind of an instrumental of Here Comes the Sun.
Yeah.
And it was such a pretty song. Rachel looked awesome. And we were both just a wreck. It was just so cool.
I know. Yeah. How'd your dad do at that point? I
don't know.
Maybe you were like, I can't look at him either. Yeah.
I have no idea. I guess I'll see on the footage, but
because I assumed you were crying, but I didn't think you were crying as bad as you sound like you were.
Yeah.
So maybe your dad
My face was contorting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I thought I was
really
all
fun.
cried out, and then nope. When Rachel started crying, I was
Ray.
like, "Whoo-wee, here we go."
Dude, I'll tell you when I might have cried the most, because it's just a wild day of emotions.
Yeah.
You know, you're like, all right, this is fun. Joel cracked a joke. All right, I'm good. But then he says something serious. Like, oh my gosh, I'm back in it again. But when I cried maybe the most is the wedding is over, and Rachel and I go up to the bridal suite to try and like find the marriage license. Like, let's make sure we sign that right now. And just like the feeling of like we did it and it's over and we're married. Oh my gosh.
Wow.
I just kept like, I would just like sigh like, oh my gosh. I just couldn't believe it.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Oh,
Yeah.
we did it. Oh, I met you at a Topgolf. Look at it. This is crazy.
It really is.
Oh my
crazy.
gosh.
Yeah.
This is crazy. Rachel's
Yeah.
like, are you okay? It's like, I don't think so. I don't know what's happening to me. I can't control it. I don't
Dude,
know.
it is amazing. Like the story is amazing. It truly is.
So right afterwards, I was not expecting to get so emotional when it was over.
Was just the two of you up there?
Yeah, that was pretty fun.
Yeah,
That was cool for a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, here's a fun story. Speaking of the bridal suite, I go up there, I don't know, probably 3 p.m. or something. People have not started arriving yet. The wedding's not until 4:30. I go up there because we realize, hey, for bingo later, we can talk about that. I got to get the pins out. We don't have the pins ready. Rachel's like, they're up in the bridal suite. I run up there. I even am like hesitant. Like girls could be changing in here, maybe. I don't know. And I get to the top step and I look, okay, the door is wide open. Okay, cool. Then I walk all the way in. Some girl and her boob is breastfeeding.
No.
Yeah, and I go, oh, sorry, and walk away. So yeah, talk about a first look. got a little preview.
Oh man. Something
So,
I don't even know if she'd be comfortable with me sharing the details, but something similar that happened with Catherine.
No way.
Yeah, not in Iowa. Sorry, a while
Everywhere.
back. I'm trying to remember what wedding. Maybe it was Peter's wedding.
Really?
I don't know. Sorry, not Peter's wedding. Harrison's wedding. I don't know. I think there were
Fun.
like 3 of them that were like in this. Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to remember the details. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But yeah, I think it was like the pastor was real close to walking in on them afterwards, and I think they were like, "Somebody's in here."
Yeah, hey.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah, it was wild. Got a couple
That's
first looks that day.
hilarious.
Yeah.
Did you tell that to anybody beforehand?
I told Rachel, and
Yeah.
she's like, who was it? And I was like, we will find out later once we go table to table.
Oh,
And I'm like,
you didn't know him.
I didn't know who it was.
Oh, really?
It wasn't one of the bridesmaids or anything.
Right.
It was just like some random woman. And so, yeah, sure enough, we go table to table, fast forward 4 hours. And I'm like, oh, there she is. Or even funnier, it's like, I'm not sure if it's her. Like, hey, why don't you show me real quick?
You look familiar. Yeah.
Just give me a quick, it was
Yep.
you. Okay, hey, good to see you again.
Oh man.
Anyway, let's talk about Be Amazing just real quick before we forget.
I have another jingle for them. Ready?
Oh, yeah.
Beam, be amazing. Be amazing. Be amazing. Then they're best for the super greens. Be amazing. Be amazing. Woo! Stop. Gosh, it was perfect.
It's weird, dude.
Stop. Who did it? Was that good?
That was fun.
Be amazing.
Fun. Can't wait to see what you have for the next one later. What song you have? But yeah, we love Beam. Be amazing. In fact, we had a little boys' night last night.
Yep.
Which I needed. I'd been married for 3 days.
The old ball and chain.
Yeah.
If I can get off.
A bunch of us we were going to go play pickleball, but we ended up going to Topgolf last night. And Gunnar was asking us a lot of questions about Beam.
Be amazing.
Be amazing.
Yeah, we love it. It is genuinely my favorite way to start the day. I don't know about you. Like what, Jake, if you could wake up to anything in the morning, what would it be?
We were laughing so hard because the answer is be amazing.
Yeah, the answer is be amazing, super greens. Truly, I mean, I've had 4 flavors now, and they've all been good.
And if you only had 3 fruits and veggies while you've had those 3 flavors?
Oh my gosh. Try like 4.5 times that much.
Probably, I was going to say probably
Yeah.
80 fruits and veggies.
Each time, 4.5 times.
Yeah.
It's so good, dude. Every once in a while I'll eat an apple and I'll be like, what's this about?
One?
Are you kidding? What is this?
Imagine how long it would take you, yes, you, out there listening, to blend together 28 fruits and veggies. Just to go out and buy 28 fruits and veggies and then blend them and then make them taste good.
Timon,
Just
off the
buy
top of your
beef.
head, name 10 vegetables. Go.
Carrot. Tomato.
You can't even name 2. See? There's 28 of them.
His second option was a fruit.
What do you say, tomato?
Yeah.
I just stopped myself.
It's hard to even name that many, much less buy them, much less blend them. That little burp there.
Whoa.
So just get some Beam super greens in your life. It's an all-in-one wellness formula for what you might be lacking in your daily diet.
Yes, it's just good for you. I can just tell you right now, if you take it, you will be healthier than if you don't. It's just that simple.
Is that something you're interested in?
Would you like to be healthier? Everyone should answer yes. Would you like to support the Ghostrunners and their sponsors? Everyone that's listening should say yes. Therefore, go to youcanbeam.com, use our promo code GRKC, support Beam, support us, and get healthier. It's just common sense. Okay?
It's
just there for a reason.
Come on. Link
No.
is also in the description. GRKC for 10% off your purchase.
So good. So good. So good. So good. All right. So wedding ceremony.
so good.
Joel did, I think Joel did such a great job.
Yeah.
Such a great job.
I owe Joel a voice memo. I was just to kind of tell him how great he did. How many people told me that Joel did a great job?
You want to do it now?
No.
Just kidding.
But yeah, he was a man. And
He broke the ice at the beginning.
oh yeah, he did. As Steve Coop is kind of giving away Rachel. I think he already said her mother and I take Rachel by the arm, but then he's like, hands in, everybody. And I was like, what in the world? Joel surprised me with a lot of stuff. There was a lot I didn't know he was going to do or say, but we all put our hands in, me, Rachel, her dad, and Joel. And he's like, 1, 2, 3. And at this point, it's like, I don't know what we're going to say.
Yeah.
You haven't went over this. 1, 2, 3. He goes, let's do this, Panthers. There's some volleyball girls kind of snicker. I was like, that's fun.
Yeah.
And anyway, yeah, it was a great sermon. It was a great word. He had plenty of jokes in there.
Really great scripture reader.
Scripture reader was nice.
Well, she was great. Catherine
Yeah.
Ellis.
All the Ellises got involved.
Yeah. Well,
That came.
yeah.
Catherine wrote some scripture to kind of start off Joel's message for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
And it was fun. I really enjoyed just like emailing Joel leading up to the ceremony because he asked me all these questions. I wasn't sure what he was going to use. One of them I will share that didn't make it into the wedding message, but that I liked. He asked me to write pros and cons for Rachel. One pro I wrote said, pro, has a beautiful mother. Con, looks exactly like her dad. So that one didn't make it in there, but still good. And
Looks exactly like her dad.
but yeah, he did a great job. And one thing I was big on, I can't remember if we talked about this in the podcast, but I've been to so many weddings. I've filmed so many weddings, and I always thought it was weird that the bride and groom never just like acknowledge or address the audience during the ceremony. I know you're going to talk to them later anyway, but like they're all there. It is the moment of your wedding. I was just like, hey, for me personally, that's something I want to do. I want to keep it short and sweet. I didn't really know what I was going to say. I just prayed a lot and was just like, God, what do you want me to say here? And so I started off with a couple jokes and then said, I truly thanked everyone there. And then just gave like a quick word on like, I mean, we're talking like 30-second message of just like, Rachel and I are the product of like things that look like coincidences, things that look like, oh, that's unlikely. But we choose to believe in something more than coincidences. We choose to believe in, God's guiding hand and his plan for our life. And I think each one of you guys are also where you need to be. Like not only just at this wedding, but where you're at in your jobs, where you're at in your life, whatever. And anyway, that was basically it. And
Yeah. It was sweet.
just kind of got back into it and did the vows and rings, whatever. Wedding highlight, my cousin Steve-O. It was really cool. At the end of the night, he came up to me and was like, dude, one of my favorite parts of the day is what you said at the wedding.
Oh,
He's like,
cool.
that really like spoke to me. That's really like got me thinking
Wow.
about my own life.
Wow.
And he's like, maybe I am here for a reason today.
Wow.
I was like, dang, that's so cool. That is the exact reason. If
Yeah.
this marriage yields nothing else for anyone else, if that, whatever that could lead to,
Yeah.
really excited.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
I was really pumped about that. So
That pumps me up. Holy cow.
shout out
Let's go, Steve-O.
Holy Spirit.
Let's go.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it is so fun thinking about whatever. I think Patrick Draymond said it. He called it a, Rube Goldberg, version. But the kind of the butterfly effect of like, man, what if we didn't decide to go to Topgolf that night?
Yeah.
What if we didn't decide to pickleball that night? What if it rained? What if, all these little things? It's like,
so many things had to happen. Rachel
Yeah.
moving to Kansas City for some reason.
Yeah.
It was very weird and
Just,
random of her.
just the whole thing is just so fun. What if pickleball wasn't invented, dude? But yeah, the reception was beautiful and sweet and fun.
Yeah. Bingo was a hit.
Yes.
Kind of after we did our grand entrance to another Elvis song. It was really fun, which I talked about on the podcast. But I grabbed the microphone. It's like, all right, we're going to have dinner soon. Wedding party. You guys go grab dinner. Everyone else, look underneath your seats. We got a special surprise. There were bingo cards. We played a quick game of bingo. And some woman from Rachel's side, I didn't even know who it was, from Iowa, won bingo. And Rachel's like, her name's Marge. Her name's Marge. And I go, Marge and in charge. Go get yourself some food. And I had a lot of people coming to me afterwards like, that was awesome. You said Marge and in charge.
Marge and in charge, dude.
Yeah.
Caden Peterson was convinced that Marge cheated. She's like, they didn't even check her card. We don't know if she really got bingo or not.
I trust Marge.
Yeah. Just funny thinking about the conspiracies behind, wedding reception bingo.
That was fun. And then other wedding highlight for me had to be the Steve's speeches.
Yeah.
They were great. My dad went first and gave the best speech I have ever heard. It was awesome. I'm so excited that we have it filmed. The whole thing is recorded. We will be able to watch it for the rest of time if we want to. But it was awesome. Just, really funny. Had some really good jokes. Basically just talked about how I've done all these things and I've been all over. I drove through every state and, came out of it zero fiance. We're going to have to go international. And, before that, they sent me to a Baptist college.
Yeah.
Zero fiance and had all these jokes, but it was also really sentimental and really cool and really talked about Rachel a lot and how she was worth the wait. And it was awesome. Phenomenal speech. He brought the house down.
He was so funny. He really did. Like in every way. I think right before his speech, we all went nuts for him. Like, yeah, Steve.
Yeah.
Let's go, Steve.
He said that meant a lot to him because he was so nervous.
He's like, man, you guys gave me the energy I needed right there.
Yeah. And he did a good job just from a speaking standpoint. Like he grabbed the mic and he I feel like was confident from the beginning.
Yeah. Like your version of D1, jeans is speaking jeans.
Speaking jeans.
You got it from old Steve.
Yeah, yeah. He knows how to command a room.
Yeah. The whole, ever since I saw him at the rehearsal, that's all he could talk about was his speech.
He's just so nervous.
Not truly, Steve. I know, you were excited for your son and all that, but man, yeah, Steve, how we feeling today? What's going on? What's going through your head? And he's like, man, I'm just gonna cry like a little baby at that speech. I'm gonna cry like a baby. I just know it. I'm not gonna be able to get through my speech. I cried just practicing it.
Did you have a good view of when he did start to cry and he called for tissues and my mom just flung him out of nowhere?
Yes.
That was athletic. That was fun.
That's your athlete right there.
It was the speed and also the speed of the
trajectory.
Throw. Yeah, but also just the reaction time.
She knew the aerodynamics of that tissue. It was one of those travel tissue packets. She knew it wasn't going to fly perfectly easily. So she threw it a little bit with some gumption on it, but not too much.
It all happened so fast. My dad starts to cry. He turns around. My mom throws some tissues. He grabs him and just goes back. It was crazy.
It was very coordinated.
Yeah.
Couldn't have done it better if they tried.
No, that part was flawlessly executed. But yeah, it was just awesome. I think my mom told me that people from the venue or even caterers, people just vendors there said that was the best wedding speech that they've ever heard.
That's cool.
I was like, dang, that's awesome. I thought it was pretty good myself, but it was also about me and my wife.
Right, right.
That's why. But then afterwards comes Steve Coop. How would you describe his speech, Brad?
Oh man. Heartfelt first and foremost. A little scattered. And I would say he I think his sons was my favorite part of watching, because I think they know him better than obviously we do.
Yeah.
And they're just dying laughing at everything he does. Because I obviously I've hung out with Steve Coop some, but not as much as other people. And man, it was hilarious. The beginning of it, another just wonderful joke at the beginning.
Oh yeah. He maybe did have the biggest laugh of the day.
Yeah.
Because he talked about, he was at the rehearsal dinner, Angie shared about how she's been praying for Rachel's husband since the time she's been born, and it was really cool. And then in my dad's speech, we learned that my parents have been praying for me since I was born. And that was really cool. My dad even made the point, this was probably the most emotional part of the speech. He was like, we've been praying since before Rachel was born.
Right.
It's like, dang, that's so cool.
Yeah.
And so Steve Coop gets up there. He's like, this is crazy. Last night I learned that Angie's praying. And then right now I just learned that Steve and Trish have been praying. I'm the only one not praying.
And he kind of like he was very emotional too. And I feel like he said like all his jokes even were a little bit like teary eyed. Like
Yeah,
I'm the only one that's not praying.
Yeah, it wasn't really meant to be funny. It was just like, I can't believe this. I'm not the only one not praying. You know, like, yeah.
I just love how honest he was. Like, I'll be honest, I haven't prayed a lick about this.
Yeah, that is Steve. The speech was exactly how I would have loved a Steve Coop speech to go.
Well,
just like he would take his glasses on and off, just like intermittently. He would
His glasses that he wears all the time, right?
yeah. Talk about that.
So he comes, I don't know what time. The wedding started at 4:30, I think.
Yeah.
He probably comes into the groomsmen, room at 4 o'clock. He's like, yeah, I had to go down the street to Dollar Tree because I couldn't find my readers anywhere. And so he's got these brand new glasses that he literally had to like hustle out of his daughter's wedding to go get.
Yeah.
Like any of us could have gotten them for you, Steve. Like, but then again, I guess we wouldn't have known his prescription anyway.
He wouldn't made it happen.
And so, yeah, the whole time he was moving the glasses up and down. Like, I think that was like his little like, nervous tick or whatever you want to call it. Like, but he was so sweet, man. And like so many times I could tell he was so overcome with emotion, but I was like, I don't know if I fully understand what that meant right there. Like the driving quote. Do you remember that one? That one was the one that was like my favorite. Because first of all, he did the classic like envelope notes because he loves making notes on envelopes.
He wrote his speech out on 5 different envelopes.
But he would like mention halfway through, like, oh, I'm going a little out of order here. I'm gonna skip that part. He's like saying all this stuff,
just thinking out loud.
and then he's like, I think at one point he's like, it's like Tim always says, whether you're driving a boat or you're driving a car. And he like looked back at Rachel, you're still driving. And I loved it. It was so sweet because the whole thing was sweet, but it was like, I could probably guess what that means. Maybe like just keep progressing down the road in some way. But
yeah, I don't know.
But then like, he's so emotional and crying, but then I'm looking over at his sons over here just laughing their heads off.
Oh, Garrett Gibson was losing his mind during the speech. He was laughing so hard. And
So
like the
good.
next day when we all went to the Coops, I heard multiple people make comments to Tim like, "There's that guy who drives boats and cars." Tim's just like shaking his head like, I don't know what that's about.
Right. It's so great, dude.
And in like the bachelor party group text, which is funny, it was just like people were quoting Tim for his car quotes, and yeah, it was so funny. But yeah, both speeches were night and day, but both incredible in their own style.
Yeah. He got me going when he was like, I've loved being your dad, or something like along those lines, or just like, he's like, it's been so fun to be your dad, or so fun to have you as a daughter, or something like that. I'm like, dang, like that's when you internalize and you're like, that's gonna be me someday.
Yeah.
Woo-wee. Like that was really sweet for me. And he gave her a high five, and it was like the most like affectionate high five I'd ever seen. You know what I mean? Like, it's so fun to have you as a daughter, and like, high fiving her. And I was like, man, he wants to hug her right now, but she's on the other side of that table. Anyway, it was just, the whole thing was just wonderfully sweet and awesome. So,
and it'll be in a wedding video someday.
Yeah,
I
man.
can't wait.
Yeah. Oh, while we're on the subject, Brady, if you're listening to this podcast, I'll give you a decent amount of money if you can send me, if you have any kind of footage of Scott doing a pre-shot routine, and send that to me of like how slow he actually golfs.
At golf?
Yeah. Because I can't wait to it's like one of those things, it's like a blind spot in your own life. But if he sees it, he's like, I can't believe that. I mean, that was 45 seconds right there.
Yeah, look at you and then look at Luke.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anyway, see about that earlier, but
I think one of the only other things I have in my wedding highlights is Rachel's note to me. She wrote me a little letter. We each wrote each other some letters a day of, but it was really cool. In addition to all the things that Rachel said about me, or to me, Rachel found an old piece of paper from her journal back in the day. When she was 13 years old, she wrote all of the things that she wanted in a husband someday.
wow.
And she was like, go look at all these things because they all came true.
Really?
Yeah, it was crazy. I was
That's
a
cool.
wreck when I
really.
read that. I was just like, oh my gosh. Because she's never told me about any of this. I had no idea about this list. I never known that all of them came true. And yeah, just reading it, I was like, I'm keeping this forever. This
That is so cool. Wow.
Yeah.
Dang.
So yeah, Rachel's note was awesome.
Yeah, I saw that you were given a note, and I was like, I would not read that in front of us, brother. Yeah, go somewhere else.
Yeah, I did. I kind of snuck away and read it. And yeah, we also gave each other some gifts. Rachel got me like a nice watch to wear.
Yeah.
So I was like, I don't want to wear an Apple Watch on my wedding day. What I got Rachel is, I'll call it just like the most selfish wedding gift of all time.
Let's see. Golf clubs.
No, that would really be something.
The most okay, go ahead.
So Rachel, one of the great, like really cute things about her, she loves anytime we share anything. There was a time we shared a pesto pizza and it like made her whole month. She loved that we shared a pesto pizza.
Okay.
She loves anytime we get to share anything. Rachel has been quite the reader, probably the last 6 to 12 months. She's at a book club. Her and Catherine talk books all the time. I haven't been much of a reader. Last book I read was probably, The Pelican Brief or something in high school. And anyway, so my wedding gift to Rachel was a Kindle for me. It was like, hey, I'm going to start reading with you.
There you go.
And it meant the world to her. She was so
Sure.
excited. And I have been. I've read every night that we've been married.
What are we reading?
She recommended a book. She's like, you have to start with this one. But the way, it's so wild. Kindle, I guess if you want the books to be free, you have to wait for them to become available. But it's a digital copy. I do not understand how this works. So I had to go get a digital library card. And I have to digitally put it on hold for myself. And so I don't have it yet.
So are you reading those?
So in the meantime, I was just like, let's just scroll and see what is available now.
Sure.
And picked up right where I left off, found another John Grisham book. I was
Okay.
like, this guy's still writing books? Holy cow. So
What was the book that she recommended?
Verity,
Okay. Cool.
some type of like fiction thriller.
It's a novel though.
Yeah.
Cool. Cool.
Yeah, Rachel's Note, Kindle, it's all good. I'm a reader now.
I also think that like maybe it's not as selfish as you think of a gift because there's a decent chance she's going to lose hers at some point. And then
will
she
need
got a
this.
backup. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we will probably need 2 Kindles.
Yeah.
Because we'll go down to 1.
I am curious, like if that ever happens, let me know. Like if she like
Loses the
loses
Kindle.
it like for a decent amount of time where she's like, okay, I need to use somebody else's
Yeah,
because I could see that happening.
probably. And I'll say, hey, here's mine.
Man,
Have at it.
that's fun. Okay, let's talk about our third sponsor real quick.
Let's do it. Because I think tonight we're using it. Rachel told me.
Bro, I'm so excited.
We got invited over.
Did I say bro or did I say Breeo?
Bruh.
Bro, bro. We are sponsored. Okay, let's do a song. Ready? You start, Simon. Timon. Breeo.
Breeo. What am I?
A song? Okay, here's the song.
Oh.
Breeo.
Oh, no. Okay. Let me tell you about Breeo.
Hey.
Let me tell you about this grill. Let me tell you about Breeo. It's a grill and it's also a fire pit. Come on.
Oh, yeah.
Let me tell you about Breeo.
Da-da-da-da.
You know they're sponsoring us.
Da-da-da-da.
And they got accessories and furniture too. And it's all made in the USA. Hey.
Womp.
Womp. Womp. Wow. Wow.
Good job, everyone.
I liked. Let me tell you about Breeo. That Corey Fisher, you're listening to this. He's our Breeo guy. Corey, if you're listening to this, that needs to be a jingle.
You're welcome.
Higher time in
Higher time.
crossing the switchblade star for. Let me tell you about Breeo.
That's fun. Was that an original melody? Did you just come up with it?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's an original melody.
I wish I had that skill. That's fun.
Yeah, that is awesome. Hey guys, Breeo.
Hey, guys. Hey, bros.
Breo's, they are a brand that makes smokeless fire pits right here in the United States. Smokeless fire pits, if you don't know, they are fire pits, but they don't have smoke. I think one of the negatives to having a bonfire is often that you leave smelling like a bonfire. You can only sit on, one half of the bonfire.
Oh, if the
around
wind's
the
blowing.
ring. Yeah, wind's blowing. Who knows where you're sitting?
Your nasty bonfire clothes, you go to wash them. All the clothes in the washer also kind of smell like bonfire now.
Yeah.
You got to wash them like twice.
They dominate that wash.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not with Breeo, Jake.
No, Breeo dominates the smokeless fire pit market.
They're smokeless fire pits. They're made in the USA. They're the first ones to make smokeless fire pits, highest of quality, just really great steel fire pits. They offer free shipping on all their products, including, so they have the grills and they're wonderful. They have different sizes for, portability sake, or if you want something, just really hefty. But they also have all these really cool accessories, including one that I'm really excited about. It's called a skillet rest. So you put it on there and you can put your cast iron skillet. And I'm excited for Dadder Days to get out there. Probably this Saturday, I'm planning on it, and making some eggs out there on the griddle. On the skillet. And then they have a sear plate griddle accessory as well.
kidding.
You can put that on there. You can make anything from steak, vegetables, chicken, but you can also make pancakes.
Whoa.
Hello.
That's fun.
That's fun.
Man, I could go with some pancakes right now.
So whether or not you're just trying to hang out around the fire, which I think is so wonderful and great, especially this time of year, or if you're trying to grill out, make some breakfast, make some lunch, camp out, whatever, Breeo is your answer. If you don't know, it's Breeo, Breeo.com. and we have a code GRKC for 10% off your entire order. So really, really proud of Breeo, really, really proud of this sponsorship, and just think it's an amazing product that I am excited for you guys to experience yourself.
I'm gonna experience it tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome.
Can't wait, baby.
Catherine's like, yeah, she's like, we just have, now that Jake is living over there, we just have to have him over all the time and just have fire pits.
Right away, let's do it.
Yes. And it can use wood or pellets or a combination. So if you're one of those people that cares about that stuff.
Pebbles.
Yeah, anyway.
That's fun. Thanks for having me over tonight. I fly out tomorrow, so I'm not going to see you for a while.
This is our time, yeah. Let me tell you about Breeo.
Next week's episode is going to be fun for you guys, though. I will be gone. We're not going to try to record 1,000 beforehand, so you're going to get...
We're going to have some special guests. I'm not going to say
some of the guesties.
Exactly who it is, because we're still confirming all the details, but it's going to be fun.
I am so looking forward to listening to it.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
I hope it meets your expectations. We're going to have some wonderful new sponsors next week as well. It's going to be a great time.
That's so fun.
So, yeah. Let's... yeah, what else?
A couple of the real quick things. I had some of my Kanakuk friends, Stu and Case Smitty, be the DJs.
Yeah.
We all kind of agreed 10 years ago that we'd be each other's wedding DJs. So everyone's making, what's it called? Making good on their pact.
Yeah.
So I DJ'd Stu's in 2014, and he's coming around and doing mine. And Stu and I will DJ Smitty's when the time comes. But they were great. They were so fun and easy to work with. I felt like I was at camp again. And they also already have another gig.
Yes.
They are not wedding DJs whatsoever, but they did such a good job that Rachel's maid of honor and her fiance were like, hey, we need you guys. And they're like, we don't really do this. We don't travel. Like, we'll pay you to travel.
Yeah.
You have to come.
That was the conversation I was having with Chris while Kyle is right here.
He's frozen.
Just mannequin on me. He's like, no, these guys are amazing DJs. We have to have them at our wedding. I was like, yeah, they did an awesome job. And let's go ahead and I think vindication is the right word. The very first song at Jake Triplett's wedding on the dance floor. Boop.
Breeo.
I was like, is this Uptown Funk? I was like, I tried to get eye contact with you of like, is Jake messing with me with this song? But it was awesome. It was a great dance party. So much fun.
I think the vote just came out today, but I deserve to be in last, especially after being at a wedding. I think Low by Flo Rida is not a top 3 song like I thought it was.
Really?
Yeah. Kirsty's last pick, Get Low. What was I thinking? That's an amazing song to dance to.
And it's for all ages, as Kirsty was saying.
It's for all ages. Oh my gosh. Just you could compare it to like the things your body wants to involuntarily do when a song comes on.
Yeah.
Get Low is like at the top of like, oh, I have to dance a certain way to this. So
yeah. It's great without even having words. And then you have the
just
words
the music
in there.
is good alone. So I do change my mind on that pick. Although I will say, Everybody Dance Now. One of my wedding highlights was, paint the picture. Second to last song of the night is Sweet Caroline. I don't know what happened. Trey put on his Instagram story. He's like, oh, this is a pretty white wedding. Everyone's just in a massive circle, just kind of swaying and singing and dancing. I'm like trying to like say hi to people still. Rachel's cousin Lexi's like, you guys, there's a big circle. Come on, you have to dance. And so we go out there and don't really have a plan. Don't know what we're doing. We just kind of run in the middle or just kind of skipping around, whatever. Sure. Right around that same time, the song ends. So I was like, that's probably good because I don't know what else we were going to do in the circle.
Was that? Sorry.
Right at the end, the song switches into Everybody Dance Now, which I already love the song. It's in my s'mores, but it was like a special like Kanakuk song. We would listen to it every morning during Bumblebee at K West. And so I have danced to this song.
Yeah.
I mean, several hundred times. Yeah. And anyway, it was perfect too because Stu was saying, he's like, oh, right before this, I realized I forgot to play the song and I was sad about it. And he's like, and the playlist was on shuffle and it played that next on its own. And then everyone just like swarmed me. And then instantly I was on people's shoulders. I've never been on people's shoulders before.
Yeah.
So that was a wedding highlight. Getting thrown up in the air to Everybody Dance Now. And I'm like trying to still dance like while I'm like moving around. I had grabbed Rachel's phone. And so both of our phones are flying out. I didn't care. I was having the time of my life.
I was like, I can't tell if Jake's loving this or like get me down off of this thing.
It was so fun.
That's awesome.
So
yeah, that was great.
Wedding highlight. I think that's all of them now.
One of my wedding highlights was Hattie. When the dancing was, I mean, you know, it's 10:30 at this point. She's way past her bedtime. But she's just sitting there, like, not really wanting to dance, which is like, whatever, it's fine. But literally, Catherine and I like go up to her and like try to embarrass the heck out of her, or at least like, you know, when we're going, you know, just being so goofy dancing, and she's kind of smiling or whatever. And finally, she gets 2 of those party favor light stick things.
Yeah.
Like lightsaber
Dance
kind of
props.
Yeah, fun dance prop. And our friend Zach Warehand noticed that she had these 2 dance props, these 2 like foam sticks, basically 2.5 feet long. And he starts going to all the tables around the area and just collecting all these sticks to give to Hattie. And I bet at one point Hattie had 15 of them in her lap, like just gathered around them. They're all lit up, and she just thought it was the funniest thing ever that Zach did that.
Aw.
And so yeah, it was just such a fun. It's always really, really fun to watch your friends either spend time or even just meet your kids. Like Grant Huderberg was so good with Hattie.
Really?
Like, so good with Hattie. And so was Zach. I mean, like, just fun to see that, or your dad even. Like, it was so fun.
Really?
Your dad, by the end of the weekend felt like he had a relationship with Hattie. It was just like, this is so cool and so great. And so anyway, that was a highlight for me. Another highlight, I told you this yesterday, but Hattie has one depiction of what Iowa is in her head now. Like, it's like one of those things where like you grow up going to your cousin's house in Nebraska. It's like, I know what Nebraska is. It's my cousin's house.
That's Nebraska.
She thinks that Texas is literally where like the house that Honey and Pops live in Sherman. Like that
Texas is not that big.
Yeah. Are we we're not to Texas yet. We're in Texas. No, we're not. I think she's finally kind of understanding the bigger thing. No, we're not. But she goes, the day after she goes, like, she's kind of in a funny, like, silly mood. She's like, I learned that dogs are very popular in Iowa. And I was like, what are you talking about? She's like, every house we went to had at least 1 dog. Some of them had 2 dogs. And I was
Daisy
like,
had 8 when we were there.
And then the dog had puppies. And so that's her depiction. Is like, yeah, there's a lot of dogs in Iowa.
Yeah, it's just Iowa's thing.
Iowa's beautiful. There's Rachel gets married in Iowa, and there's a lot of dogs in Iowa. That's what she thinks in her head. So
that's cute of Hattie.
pretty funny. Yeah. Also taught her about Shirley Temple's the drink. She thinks it's the coolest thing. It was pink. She's like, I want another pink drink, Dad.
Let's get some tonight.
Like, sure. Yeah. Anyway.
Is Hattie going to be at the back porch patio hang tonight?
Sure. I don't know. It
Okay.
depends on what time.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know either.
Yeah.
Sorry, I found one last wedding highlight in here. Last one. On Sunday, over at the Coops, hanging out, Rachel's cousin, Michael, is basically asked me to preach at their church. He was like, I don't know if it's because of what I
Whoa.
said Saturday or just, he's like, hey, you're finally married now.
Is this tall Lexi's brother?
Yes.
Tall blonde?
No, that is a different one.
Okay.
This is Michael. He is dark-headed.
Darkhead. I know him too.
But still tall. He was a tall guy.
He was a tall guy.
Anyway, he asked me,
Yeah, I like
and I
him.
was so honored, and I'm so excited, and so I guess I'll do that sometime this summer.
Wow.
I'll be preaching on Sunday.
Cool.
I'm pumped.
Let's see if I have. Oh, I wrote down the snack mix. I mean, this thing was like of legends.
It's so funny. Trey wanted to ask me about the mince recipe, and then you and all the girls were like, we got to learn about the snack mix.
I mean, I like the snack mix. It was like Scott's never had snack mix before in his life, the way he talked about this thing. And then the next day, we all went to Rachel's parents' house, and there was some leftover snack mix. And I told him, he's like, "Are you serious?"
he was like, who made it? I got to get her phone number.
Yeah, we got to get the recipe from her and everything. Yeah, that was of legends. I didn't try any of the mints, and I'm very regretful now. So if anybody out there has an extra mint,
Angie,
send it your way.
get Brad some mints.
Oh, another thing. Did I tell you about my pants in the parking lot?
No.
So, I mean, Jake just wanted us to have a black suit. He's like, everyone has a black suit already, so everyone just bring your black suit. That's what you'll wear for the wedding. And I had a black suit, but I was like, I want to get a nice black suit.
Hey, a little excuse to get a nice one.
Yeah, so I spent some coin on a good one. Got it all professionally tailored and all this stuff, and been like trying to keep it really clean all weekend, obviously. And as I'm walking into the wedding venue, which it's like, kind of, it's not really truly out in the country, but it's like the parking lot's gravel.
Yeah.
I'm walking in, and I think Gunner's behind me, and he's like, "Hey, whose pants are these?" Literally, like, pants are like falling off the hanger,
onto the gravel.
onto the gravel. And so they had
like a
dirt all over.
zebra.
And I was like, are you kidding me? Luckily, Gunner saw them, or else I would have just been like, dude, I don't have any
I
pants.
guess I lost my pants.
Because it was windy out there. The pants could have flown away. Anyway, but it was a bummer. So, like, yeah, after I got dressed, I was like, can you
kinda
look?
like-
Yeah, just look around and like be really critical of my pants. And like, does there look like there's a bunch of dirt all over them? Luckily, I think it all fell off. But
I didn't notice a darn thing.
that's fun. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's about it. Uncle John thinks that Catherine's beautiful. I thought that was really funny.
Big fan of Catherine.
Yeah. Coach, Uncle John was talking to Steve and was like, man, Brad's wife is beautiful. I mean, I don't know how Brad got a girl like, that is testament to true love if I've ever seen it right there. And I'm like, thanks, John. I think I'm some kind of dog or something.
That was so funny. It was also great during Steve Coop's speech that he called John by the name Coach.
Coach, that was my crowning achievement for the whole weekend. Probably.
You named him Coach.
Yeah.
And during the father of the bride speech, he's like, we had fun today. I mean, Coach probably caught 50 crappie. And all the groomsmen are dying laughing because they're the only people who know who Coach is.
Yeah, that was so great. Coach. Oh my gosh. That's so wonderful. And they're all going on vacation together soon.
Yeah.
Right? Are you going with them?
Yeah.
On that? Okay.
I think we're going to do it around our Hawaii shows
That's
this
right.
winter. We're all going to go.
Yeah.
So
Man, all great things, Jake. I'm glad that it was awesome for you. It was fun
perfect.
for us, man. I was telling you yesterday, I was like, I feel like relieved at the end of this trip. Like,
Really?
you know,
Yeah.
like, it's one of those things. I wasn't nervous or like stressed necessarily, but it was like, it felt like it was one of those like milestone things, obviously, that like, okay, it's over now. And
Yeah.
we can keep like pressing on to the next thing kind of thing. So, I can't imagine, how you guys feel towards it all, but
yeah, I'm sure Rachel and Angie especially feel this, but I even feel
Right.
it too. It's just like, wow, nothing on the to-do list anymore.
Yeah,
none of this,
exactly.
like outside of work to-do list.
small details that you have to make all these tiny decisions on, or you know, whatever.
Making sure we give the bingo cards, making sure we have, the
pins, yeah.
the pins, making sure we have all this other little stuff. So
Right. Yeah. It's awesome, man.
cool. Well, that's the wedding episode. Thank you all for listening. I have no idea how long we've been recording. Feels like it's been a healthy bit.
Who cares?
Hour
But-
26.
Oh, not too bad.
Not too bad.
Cool. Let's do our reviews of the week.
Okay. Mine, let me pull it up real quick, is coming from Ben Von Guten.
Yeah.
It says, thank you, Dr. Ben. I sent this one right away to Dr. Ben when I saw it. 5 stars. One of my best friends pooped his pants while walking down a street when we were seniors in college. We're a couple years out of college now, but we still talk about it and laugh hysterically at the memory. He's been an avid Ghostrunners listener from the beginning and has always tried to get me into it. I'm not a big podcast guy and never gave it a chance until he sent me the episode when Dr. Ben talks about his experience pooping at his in-laws. Knowing that the segment involved funny poop stories and having it sent from someone who has pooped their pants as an adult, I decided to give it a listen. Yeah, he had credibility, you know.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey, listen, I'm not just like somebody spewing this out. I live this stuff. I've been a full-blown ghostie since that day. You guys are what podcasts should be. Just people being themselves, talking about life. I sit in my chair at work and laugh like a child while listening to Ghostrunners every Monday and Wednesday. I appreciate your wholesomeness, humor, and personality that's incorporated in every episode. I'm getting married this July.
Hey-o.
Congratulations. And got my fiance hooked on it as well. You guys are a huge source of serotonin for Christians. God bless and rock on.
Rock on.
Rock on, Ben. That's fun. I just love the idea of here. Like, if anybody else is like affected by a specific story that's not us, you guys should tell us, because
That's
that's
fun.
a really fun thing, I'm sure, for people to hear, is like, yeah, Dr. Ben hears this and he's like, whoa, people are listening to another person's podcast because of my story.
He's a disciple.
Yeah, it's just fun.
It's great.
So
My review of the week comes from Wal Su. Says, I've never felt more seen or heard when Jake said he gets words stuck in his head instead of songs. I thought I was the only one. I work as an oncology nurse and often have the names of drugs playing on repeat during my day. Thank you for being a bright spot in my week and one of my favorite talk shows. Congratulations on 4 years. I've enjoyed every minute. And the title of the review is some drugs that I'm not going to be able to pronounce. Trastuzumab. Let's see if I can get this. Diphenhydramine. I felt better about that one.
yeah, diphenhydramine.
It's either Diphen or Difen. Diphenhydramine.
Diphen-
Either way, Wal Su, whoever you are, keep on keeping on. Palisades, brother.
Palisades.
That was the word that was stuck in my head for a long time.
That's crazy.
I don't know why.
Let's get it stuck there again. Palisades.
Palisades. Good episode. Good singing, you guys.
Timon.
Thank you.
Ask Timon.
Timon, would you like to end this episode with a jingle?
Let me just pull up the one I had prepared.
Perfect. Yeah. This is all improv.
Okay, I can't tell if you guys have something set up without me.
No,
or-
Come on, do the thing. Play the thing.
Oh, yeah.
You had something to say? You had something to sing?
You had a song?
Do the thing.
Do you have a song?
The one that I sent you it.
I don't know what's going on.
If it's not working, just sing one. Just sing one.
Just sing one off the top of your head.
Just sing like one in your back pocket. Sing across the Swiss Rally song. Sing Mr. Belvedere. Is that the guy's name that you're going to be?
I have no idea what's happening.
Mr. Worcester and
Willoughby?
Mr. Willoughby. Yeah. Sing one of those. No, I'm just kidding. What should we sing about, Timon? What's the subject?
Summertime is almost here.
Almost. You think?
Yeah. Summer solstice is like June 22nd.
Okay.
You feel free to mention that in the song as well.
Summertime is almost here. With it comes fun and cheer. Popsicle sticks and ice cream too.
This is great.
Summertime, June 22.
Hey, remix. It's time. New moon. Next month. It's June. Yep. You know why. On the 4th we celebrate July. Hey. Summertime. You know me. Rachel here living in Shawnee. Yeah. It's rad. Living next to Catherine and Brad. You already know Hattie, Rosie, and of course Bo. We in danger. Bo's got sticks. He's a Lone Ranger. That's probably good.
Yeah. I think that was perfect.
And that's the jingle.
That was what we were.
That's what I had pulled up.
We had an MP3 file of all that. It wasn't working, so we just had to do it ourselves.
Yeah, which is fine. We'll get it on the Zune later. On the
Which
Dell.
is fine. On the Zune, is what he said.
Remember the Zune?
Yeah. Yeah. Zune was one of those devices.
I was so close to getting the Zune.
It really quickly went from the rich kids had Zunes to the poor kids had Zunes. Like really quickly. Because like the iPod came around, I was like, oh, why would I have a Zune anymore?
I think they were around the same time.
Really?
And it was just like the Zune was a little more affordable. And it was like, I think this. Why would I want the iPod when this is here? And got real close to getting a Zune. Held out for a refurbished iPod though.
I still to this day, I mean, for probably 18 years now, I've been buying refurbished technology. I'd recommend it to anyone.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's just like a used car.
Yeah.
You know, if somebody took care of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good. Okay. Let's end with that.
Okay. Hey, go out and get something refurbished this week.
It's fun.
Or get something brand new from our sponsors.
Yes.
Do that.
How about them?
How about them?
Good Ranchers. Beam. Be amazing. Breeo.
We will see you guys Wednesday for some s'mores with Timon. Maybe some wedding stuff we forgot. And other stuff.
Love you guys.
See ya.
Ghostrunners Podcast. Every